Bayo Onanuga, the special advisor on information and strategy to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has berated Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, over his comment on the proposed purchase of a new presidential aircraft. Now, remember that recently the House of Representatives Committee on National Security and Intelligence asked the federal government to purchase new aircraft for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima. The committee recommendation was contained in a report released after an investigation into the status of the aircraft in the presidential fleet. Mr. Peter Obi had faulted that proposal, saying it highlights the disconnect between the government and the people. Obi said the proposal is unacceptable, adding that there is need for a more compassionate use of resources and prioritizing citizens' welfare. Bayo Onanuga, however, said that the proposal to purchase two presidential jets for the president and the vice president is a basic thing any sane government will do, because it cannot toy with the president's welfare. Now, look at what he said about Mr. Peter Obi. He's asking the question, does Peter Obi want the president dead? Is that his wish? Does he want him to continue moving around in a ricketed plane and die like the VP of Malawi and Iran president? Let him tell us, Onanuga said. Bayo Onanuga said that the plane that the president is using now was bought during former President Obasanjo's era. That was 20 years ago, and he learned that the plane is very small. He said the plane developed a problem the last time the president traveled to Saudi Arabia. Let's counter Bayo Onanuga's lies. There are almost 7 aircraft at the presidential fleet, and this includes the Boeing business jet 737. The Boeing 737 is primarily used as a means of transport for the President of Nigeria. The luxurious aircraft, which seats between 25 and 50 passengers, has a master bedroom, a washroom with showers, a conference, dining area, and a living area, along with state-of-the-art security equipment for the safety of the President. The aircraft is known as Eagle 1 and is marked Nigerian Air Force, that is NAV 001. The price for the 737 starts from around $91 million. Now, I'm sure this is the aircraft that Bayo Onanuga is saying that is too small for the president. How large is Bola Ahmed Tinubu? An aircraft that contains 25 and 50 passengers that you're saying that is too small for the president. Now you have the Gulfstream VSP, which accommodates 4 crew and 14 passengers. The jet costs approximately $36 million. I need Bayo Onanuga to explain to us how a jet that can contain 14 passengers and 4 crew too small for the president. Is the president traveling with a whole community? He should cut down the number of people he travels out with. Now you have the Gulfstream G550, which contains between 14 to 19 passengers. The 2017 version of the G550 is sold for $61 million. Now, these are the presidential jets at the disposal of the president. You have the Falcon 7XS. Now, this jet has the capacity to carry the president, 15 members of his entourage, 2 pilots, and a crew member. The cost of this jet is $53.8 million, and the Nigerian Air Force own 2 of these jets. 2 of these jets. Now let's take a look at Peter Obi's tweet regarding the proposed purchase of the presidential jet that warranted a careless statement from Bayo Onanuga. Of course, we know that Bayo Onanuga is an uncouth old man. We don't expect anything different from him. Now, Peter Obi has taken to his Twitter account to state, and he read, "At a time when our country is trending on the global media for facing its worst economic crisis, marked by high inflation, a failing currency, and widespread poverty, the government plan to buy new presidential jets demonstrates extreme insensitivity to the global media." That Mr. Peter Obi is talking about here is New York Times, that wrote a damning article about the Nigerian economy. Whatever the New York Times said is not propaganda, it's what is happening in Nigeria. Now let's continue. With rising insecurity, poverty, hunger, and homelessness, this decision highlighted disconnect between the government and the people. It is unacceptable and demands a more compassionate use of resources, prioritizing citizens' welfare. It is on record that our presidential jets have an average age of 12 years, purchased when most Nigerians could afford basic necessities. Now, as our country faces significant challenges, including a high debt profile, our citizens are in even greater need. Instead of adding to our luxuries, We should be focused on alleviating their suffering and finding solutions to their problems. For long, our bad leadership has made our priorities as leaders to be at variance to the needs of society, which is why we are headed now south as a nation. To elucidate further, despite dropping down to the fourth largest economy in Africa with a GDP of $252 billion as per capita income of $1,080, with huge debt burdens and borrowing to service debt, yet we are spending $15 million for our vice president's residence, while the USA, the world's largest economy with a GDP of $25 trillion, about 100 times our GDP, and a per capita income of $80,000, about 80 times ours, still houses their vice president in #1 observatory circle, a house built over 100 years ago, and whose value is obviously less than the $15 million we are spending on our vice president's residence. A reputable real estate company actually reported that the US vice president's official residence is valued at about $7.5 million today. While we had earlier refurbished the old VP residence with $2 million, the over 100 years old US vice president house has only undergone wide-scale renovation twice, funded by taxpayers' money in 1993 and in 2021. Every new US VP is free to finance any minor refurbishing from his personal funds. It's therefore time to stop this impunity, insensitivity, and shamelessness and refocus on the needs of our people. We must prioritize education, healthcare, and lifting our citizens out of poverty. Let us work together to build a nation that truly serves its people, not just the interests of a few. Let's rise to the challenge and build this new Nigeria, which is more possible than ever before. Kīll. You can see the clear comparison. The United States has a very robust economy. How is Nigeria, a country with insecurity, a country with hundreds of millions of her citizens in poverty, a country with so much out of school children, a country that her citizens cannot even access portable drinking water, a country that does not even have stable electricity, a country that the citizens are hungry, they cannot even feed herself. How is Nigeria, with all these problems, spending so much money than the United States of America that has a robust economy? The only reason why this whole thing is happening is because your leaders are insensitive to the plight of the people. They don't care about the sufferings of the average Nigerians. All they care is to come and give you propaganda. They will tell you to endure. They will tell you to endure the sufferings, whereas they are living a wasteful life. It was just reported that the Prime Minister of New Zealand bought a commercial jet because his presidential jet has a problem. When you look at the GDP per capita of New Zealand is over $52,000, whereas Nigeria has just $1,000. A country of 200 million citizens having just $1,000 as GDP per capita. That is so poor. Nigeria is a poor country. But the politicians in this country, they are living large at the expenses of the people. Bola Tinubu has a private jet. He has a private jet. Why don't he make use of his private jet? Why must the country buy new private jets for him? If he feels that there is need for him to get a private jet to furnish his lavish lifestyle, he should use his personal money for it, not public fund that would have gone into making the life of Nigerians better. I mean, are these people not aware that Nigerians are suffering? Are they not aware that Nigerians are hungry? The truth is they are aware, but they don't care. They don't even care because they don't even need you to win election. The next election, they are not even banking on your vote. The last election, they did not bank on your vote. They have their rigging machine in place to rig the election now. Rather than Bayo Onanuga focusing on the issues that Mr. P2B has raised, P2B raised so many issues here. He compared Nigerian economy to that of the United States. He compared the situation in the country to that of the United States. Nigeria has too many problems that is berating her currently, and our attention should be focused on solving those problems, because this problem we have a spiral effect on us. If this problem are not solved, if the hunger in the land is not solved, if the insecurity is not solved, if the out of school children issues we have in this country is not solved, if the inflation is not solved, is going to destroy this country, because these people that you are impoverishing and making them to go hungry, they will turn back and fight the government. They will turn back and make this country to be ungovernable. Bayo Onanuga should focus on the real issue that Mr. Tinubu has highlighted. This is what will help the government. Is Bola Tinubu not thinking of 2027? I mean, is he not thinking of getting vote from the people? What exactly will he use to campaign in 2027? Like I said, he's not banking on the vote of the people. That is the reason why they don't care about the plight of the people. A responsible government will focus on alleviating the pains of the people rather than increasing it. Bayo Onanuga and the presidency, they should focus on the issues on ground, and that is the fact that Nigerians are hungry and they want to eat. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.